Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads web hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads web hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
Welcome everyone, Aussie Tech Heads episode 357. My name is Glenn and tonight we're going to run through as usual tech news stories that, well, some that have tweaked my interest through the week and some that have tweaked the panel's interest through the week. Aussie Tech Heads is brought to you by the ATH Web Hosting. And you can find them at athwebhosting.com.au. Now, if you're looking for a little plan to put your little blog or your little web page somewhere, well, you can come along and have a look at what we've got to offer. And if there's something there that you don't find that suits you, send me an email and we can make it work for you. That's athwebhosting.com.au. Now, you can do web hosting just like our mate Milo, who he's done a web page, and look, I can even show you. Now, this little one here, miloaviation.com. There you go. He's onto the onto web pages, and I think that's number 2 that he's got with us. So good on you, Milo. He's flying, I don't know what he's doing, Microsoft fly your plane stuff. And yeah, so he's just writing about it. So yeah, go and have a look at that. athwebhosting.com.au. And we do want to welcome the great panel tonight. And it's a very small one, just like last week. We've got Shane. Hey, Shane, how you doing?
Hey, Glenn. How you going, everyone?
Yeah, good. Now, what have you been up to? I think just before the show, you told me that you've got your phone back.
You might want to not actually my original phone.
Oh, okay. Just tell the story, the backstory as well. Yeah, just briefly, please.
Yeah, well, what had happened was about 2 weeks ago, the phone was playing up it would like freeze, and before that, Facebook wasn't actually loading photos. Now that's a bit weird, but that turned out to be like a non-related issue. That was an issue with Facebook apparently. Anyway, the phone would freeze for a couple of days, that kind of thing, and then you turn it off, turn it on again, and it would keep going for a while. And then finally, I thought, nah, stuff this. I'll try and do a reset of the phone and start again, kind of thing. And it just got to the last reboot, and then it just never came back. So I took it to Telstra and explained the situation to them. Made it look a little bit neater than what it was at the time, and they sent it away. And sure enough, a couple of days later, they said, "Oh, the phone's damaged because it's been dropped, so it's not covered under warranty. $230. Thanks for coming."
Sweet.
And I said, I wrote the email back saying, look, I acknowledge that I dropped it, but I dropped it back in, when I first got it, put a cover on it since then. And it's a bit weird that it would go for months and then all of a sudden cark it.
Well, that's what happened to my iPhone.
The story gets better. So the Telstra rep sort of wrote back saying, yeah, I can understand why they said, it's not covered by warranty, but I can also understand your frustration, the fact that you reckon you dropped it and then like 6 months later it dies. So they waived the $230 fee, nice. Which is good of them. And with HTC, it's not a repair warranty, it's a replacement warranty. So I got a brand new phone.
Nice. Good work. And you've got it there. Yes. Show us your brand new phone.
HTC One. And that's exactly the same as what I had before, black phone.
And it's already in a cover.
No, it's the cover that I already had with the other one.
Yeah, but you put it in the cover straight away.
Yeah, before I even left the shop. So they gave me a loan phone as well while I was while my phone was getting replaced or whatever. So I had a Microsoft Windows phone. Nice. So I got to experience that for.
How'd that go?
It wasn't as horrific as I thought it was going to be. You hear the horror stories, people saying it's a piece of crap and all that kind of thing. And I mean, it's a learning curve because it's a different operating system. And there are certain things in there that I found a bit weird and I probably wouldn't use it long term.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean,
Did you find did it interact with your normal PC environment, or did you go that deep into it, or did you just sort of just?
No, I didn't, because I didn't want to kind of customize it and personalize it too much, because I knew that at some point I was going to give it back. But I had to set up work email on it, my personal email on it. I downloaded a couple of apps, but nothing. I didn't even worry about Winamp. That's the other thing I found, that obviously I knew anyway, that there's next to no apps for what I wanted and all that kind of thing. So
now
I'm happy that I've got my HTC back.
You were a recent convert from the iPhone, weren't you? So.
Yes, and my own phone was the 3GS, and then I had the 4, which was a work phone. And so I guess with the 3GS, and then comparing it to the 4, the 4S, and now the 5, and then whatever's coming out next week.
Yeah.
I probably wasn't really comparing it apples with apples, because I mean, the 3GS doesn't do Siri, the 4, even the work phone with the 4 doesn't do Siri. So I've gone from a Holden to a Porsche.
Yeah. And do you think you'd go back to the iPhone?
I probably wouldn't go any earlier than the 5, mainly because of the whole Siri kind of thing. But I've downloaded when I did the whole rething of this phone, obviously with my Google account, there's some apps that I had for my tablet that tried to install themselves. And there was an assistant there that I might get back into, because I was using that on the tablet because that didn't support Google Now and all that kind of thing. So I might run with that and see how that goes. Compare that with, say, Google Now and which one's better.
Well, I'll tell you where you could get some really cheap iPhones, like really, really cheap, brand new, really, really cheap, down in Bendigo. Oh no, Ballarat. They can't go around the lurky dark corners of Ballarat overnight, and you might find yourself a nice little iPhone from JB Hi-Fi. Apparently, the thieves have raided a JB Hi-Fi in Ballarat, stole $40,000 worth of Apple products at 2 a.m. in a 3-minute raid on the joint. Now, the offenders apparently jimmied open the store in Ballarat. They grabbed all the iPads, iPhones, put them in a doona cover, and took off in a small black sedan. So if you do see that small black sedan, just say, hey, iPods. It's like,
So is that all they talk, just Apple products?
Yes, just Apple stuff. It's like, remember, I don't know if it's ever happened to you. I think we spoke about this on maybe one of the shows. I can't remember. But up here, I've been approached years ago now, but twice, or at least twice, 3 times. I've bought twice. Someone pulling up beside of you on the highway, the Gold Coast Highway, which is not a freeway. It's just it's got lights and everything, 60 in some areas, but the old Gold Coast Highway there. And they pull up beside you. They go, "You want to buy some speakers?" And you go, okay. And so you'd pull over, and then they'd whip they'd whack the sides of the van open, and you get to see them. They give you the spiel. These are real good. The boss has sent us out here. He's got too much stuff, and you're just going, yeah, sure, mate. And and then they go, well, they're $400, and back then, what, you knew that the speakers like that, they were pretty big, massive ones. The ones I bought, they'd probably maybe $600-700 worth. So you go, go to the ADM, and you come back and chuck them straight in your car. It was good, but
and
maybe
they weren't stolen.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Yes, but that's what makes it all good, doesn't it? It puts the excitement into the transaction. So maybe that's what's going to happen in Ballarat. You drive along if you're down in Ballarat. If a black sedan pulls up beside you and says, "You want to buy an iPod?" You go, "Oh, I know where they've come from. Yeah, I'll have one. I know they're pretty new." Yeah, so poor old JB Hi-Fi. Anyway, but that's what happens. But how Jimmy and open Jimmy, I like that. Jimmy. But talking of apples, we all know the big event. Next Wednesday morning, our time. Now I have the exact time. I think it was 4:00 in the morning. Is that something you get up for, Shane? You get up for Apple events? No, not into it.
No.
Oh, come on.
No, hopefully. I mean, if the launch is this month, rumors are that it's going to be actually available in October, and with any luck, I'll be in the country where they'll be available first.
Yes. Well, the iPhone release date has been confirmed. Apple has sent out the invitations, and for those on video, I can show you there we go. That's what that looked like. Apple has sent out an invitation for a press event next week, widely expected to mark the arrival of the next iPhone. Now, the event will start at Wednesday at 4 a.m., which is Eastern Standard Time. So, Shane, that'd be, 6 o'clock your time? 6 a.m.? No, 2 a.m. Oh, you could stay up for it. Don't get up.
Yeah, I could stay up rather than get up. Yeah.
That's right. Now, reports suggest Apple will release the iPhone 5S as well as the 5C, which we all know now is a cheaper model, but in different colours, with leaked photos suggesting it will come in blue, green, yellow, and white. Can't wait.
I heard you guys talking on the other show. Sorry, that you were speculating, or you weren't. You were talking about the specs and where it all kind of fits in, and you were thinking that maybe that the 5C would come in underneath the 5 spec wise.
It'd have to, wouldn't it? It'd have to. You'd think so, because it is cheap. But
Then
anyway, all will be revealed. Honestly, all will be revealed. And but for maybe more in depth chat about iPhone and Apple stuff, and I say maybe, and Shane was referring to the other show being Aussie Mac Zone. You can find the podcast on iTunes, and also the video, and also the aussiemaczone.com.au webpage. So go check that out if you're into all that sort of stuff. But just to end off on the iPhone 5S or iPhone 6. So no one's real sure what it's going to be, but I think the push is the 5S. That's the normal pattern that's been dealt over the previous years. It's thought to be a higher end model to succeed the iPhone 5. Well, obviously, otherwise there'd be no point. And it's expected to come with the fingerprint reader, improved camera, and also come in different colours, including gold. Yeah. Now the iPhones are expected.
You can't say champagne.
Well, no, the French get upset, don't they? You're not allowed. Froggies, they get upset. The handsets are expected to arrive in stores by September 20. So there you go. So you might just miss out on that, Shane. When are you going? October?
Yeah, I get there on the 3rd of October.
Yeah, okay. Well, in China, because Apple's got news all over the show, Apple has invited Chinese journalists to an event in Beijing on the 11th of September. A company spokesman said just hours after it is expected to unveil its new iPhone model in the US. The event will mark the first time that that Apple has held near simultaneous briefings in the US and China, China being the world's biggest mobile phone market. So, yeah, there's a few mobile phones over there.
I thought they weren't going to send... I mean, they're obviously going to send invitations, but I didn't think they were going to make them public and you were going to get in trouble if you told people you had an invitation.
Yes, but I think now that the invites and the event's close, it's... they've got to extract every morsel of publicity that they can. So I guess now that the event's, less than a week away, that, now it's embargoes are off. Tell people you've been invited. But how crazy is that? Putting an embargo of sorts on people, you can't even tell people if you've got an invitation. Well, it's not against the law, but you just probably wouldn't get another one. So you just don't. You don't do it, do you?
You get banned from it like Leo.
Yes, but wasn't Leo banned? And we're talking Leo Laporte, if anyone doesn't know, who does the Twit podcast. But wasn't Leo banned because he streamed it on his iPad while he was sitting?
It was the iPad launch, and he had his laptop
That's what he was doing
on his lap.
Right. Oh, no sense of humour, have they, over there at Apple? No. But they're helping us out. They're trying to recycle the phones, and they got this recycling thing going at the moment. The plan or the service where they take your phone, they recycle it for you, whatever they do, blend it, whatever, and they give you the bits, the whatever it's worth in a gift card. They don't give you the bits; they keep the bits. I reckon what they do is they just fix it up and sell it as a refurbished one, obviously. But anyway. this week, Apple launched the iPhone trade-in scheme. So it's not the recycle scheme. This is the trade-in scheme. So what's this doing? Apple, it's only
this is a separate thing.
Yes, so it's only in the US at the moment. So Apple in the US has launched the iPhone trade-in program through their stores, through the local stores. Apple in the US will accept previously owned iPhones that still power on. So, I've got an old 3G that still powers on, but for the last 4 years, it just won't connect to the Wi-Fi. I don't know why. It just won't. So, anyway, you take it over to Apple and they go, oh, gee, that's too old. Oh, we don't want to know about that. Oh, get out. Get out. But anyway, so depending on the condition of the iPhone, you could receive up to $280 towards a new iPhone model. So any customer taking advantage of the program must have or leave the retail store under a contract. But the advice going around is, before you use the Apple trade-in scheme, that check the price of what you would otherwise get on eBay or Amazon or wherever. What's that other one? Bloody.
We don't have Gazelle over here, do we?
No, but we've got the I don't know. There's another eBay one. What's that thing called? I'm on it all the time. So it started with G. I can't remember that. But anyway, there's eBay. Starts with G. Anyway, I don't know. It's gone. And it's free. It's gone. What is this? Something. I'll remember it. I'll remember it in a minute. I'll just come out with it halfway through the show, and then you go, oh yeah, he's remembered it. But so there you go. On it wasn't GarageBand. It wasn't Garage. Is it Garage?
It's gonna piss him off now.
I know. I'm gonna have to try and Google it. Gumtree. That's what it is.
Oh, that one.
Thanks, PA. I knew it. I knew it started with G. Now, PA, of course, he's in the lounge. He's in the live lounge. So, hello to everyone sitting in the lounge tonight. You can also join them in the lounge if you like, and you can at aussietechheads.com.au/live. That's around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday. Like right now, we're live, streaming to the world. To the world. Can you believe it? Live. Not in my pajamas, but live because it's on video. All right, now where else are we going to go? Shane, what stories did you pull out? You pulled a couple out this week.
Do you want me to do my stories, or do you want me to do the week that was?
Oh, we forgot. Oh, jeez. So I told you I would forget something, being so light on the hosts tonight. Better say, yes, we are light on. Everyone had something on. So there you go. Will's on holidays. Warlock's doing the Aussie Max Zone. Eric's, I don't know, getting ready for the election. Just left Shane. But each week Shane does have what happened this week in tech history. Thanks to the Tom Merritt's chronology of techie cheats, he just spins them out of the Tom's hard work. That's right. Yeah. So if you see Shane pull up beside you on the side of a road, you want some tech news history? You'll know where they come from. All right. What have you got?
All right, let's go with September. I'll try that again in English. September 1, 1996, Apple released its Pippin game console in the US. The idea was to provide an inexpensive game-focused computer. Apple licensed third parties like Bandai to make Pippin consoles.
Pippin?
I've never heard of it. Don't know if it was any good.
No. Yeah, never heard of it. What else? Give us another couple.
September 2, 1997, IBM announced that its RS6000 SP model parallel supercomputer was now 58% faster than Deep Blue, the computer that beat Kasparov at chess.
Do you play chess?
Which is probably, back in 1997, I'd say that our normal computers are probably faster than that thing now.
Probably. Do you play chess?
Nah, not very well.
No, neither. I don't really play it either.
Never went down that kind of path at school where I was kind of that nerdy where I played chess and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I like chess. I don't mind it. But yeah, I never entered any competitions or anything. Keep going.
September 4, 1956, another IBM IBM introduced the IBM 350 disk storage unit for the RAMAC 305, the first commercial computer to use magnetic disk storage.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
September 4, again, 1998 this time, Larry Page and Sergey Brin filed for incorporation of Google, allowing them to cash a $100,000 check. Andy,
Yeah, there's
I'm
one.
going to butcher this guy.
Bechtolsheim.
Co-founder of Sun, had written for Google Inc. Obviously, because he wrote out Google Inc. and Google Inc. didn't exist then. They had to do that to cash the check.
And September 5, 2007.
Yeah, Apple introduced the iPod. Is that the one you want?
Yeah.
Apple introduced the iPod Touch, bringing the multi-touch first introduced on the iPhone to its popular iPod line.
There you go. Actually, you would have thought that there'd be probably a few more Apple stories in that lineup, wouldn't you? There probably is, but because this is always when they're releasing stuff and announcing stuff and having a good old gay time on the, so it's you thought there would have been a few more. All right,
Yep.
Look, let me go back up. Let's even this Apple-sided show out with some Windows stories, eh? Windows 8 sees its biggest jump in market share since its launch. Good old Windows 8. That's not that very nice. Now, I'll give you some more info about this. These figures show Windows 8 increasing its market share.
Looks like he's trying to drop something.
I know each week, listeners, I try and find a scary photo of Steve Ballmer. and each week, I succeed. So figures show Windows 8 increases its market share from 5.4% in July to 7.4% in August. Now, this is by far the biggest jump since Windows 8 arrived on the market almost a year ago. Interestingly, I suppose, down on the XP camp, it has fallen. The XP's fallen from 37.1% to 33.7%. While Windows 7 shows a small uplift. Now, just to put these figures into perspective, and you think, well, how do they get these figures, and why should I believe these figures, and, all that sort of stuff. There's not really too many reasons why you should believe these figures when I tell you where they come from. Apparently, because they don't tap into, the Microsoft point of sale system or anything like that. It's recorded by this company. I'm not sure in this instance who this company was, but the full story, all these stories, by the way, are in the show notes with links to the actual story, which is at the aussietechheads.com.au website. Just go show notes and check the show notes out. But anyway, the surge could be merely as a result of employees who are more than likely to be running XP in offices than at home. So what they're saying is that the increase in Windows 8 figures could be because over in the US, people are on holidays, so they're not using XP at work. They're still using computers. They're using their Windows 8 at home. So that's where they're saying, well, there's more hits from these higher browsers. So with a greater percentage of website visits coming from home users, Windows 8's sudden uplift could merely be a short-term seasonal boost, although we'll have to wait for next month's figures. I can't wait. I'm just biting at the bit, I can't wait. But yeah, so that's apparently what goes on. They just measure these sort of things, but at the moment, looks like Windows 8 is, so it should, and so it will. Like, it's the latest operating system, so you would expect it to climb overall. Are you on 8 yet, James?
Yes, they didn't.
No, that was that. Dog,
no, I'm not yet. No, but I mean, as I was just about to say, at one point Vista was the latest and greatest, and that didn't get off the ground.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Look, the lounge isn't too happy about Windows 8, but I've got Windows 8. What's wrong with it? That's all right. Just because your start button takes up the whole screen, that's all right. I live with that. I don't need glasses when I'm looking at the start button. But yeah, no, look, Windows 8's just, for mine, it's just as stable as Windows 7. Completely. I've got no issues at all. Or apart from maybe there's a few peripherals that maybe drivers are still a bit dodgy. And I say that as in the way I said that, I suppose you think that it might have been, these little third party, peripherals that you might buy, that do hardly anything. But I'm talking about my brother printer. You know, that still doesn't work properly. But I've put the Windows 7 software driver on, and it's sort of okay. But little things like that. But, you know, these things, you know, that printer's 3 years old anyway. But these things, they'll improve. But Windows 8, I don't know. Are you guys in the lounge skeptical? Jeez.
Do you reckon that had anything to do with Barmer's departure?
No, I think his departure was more to do with the stupid tablet, the Surface, that Surface R.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that was $1 billion. I think they pretty much said, well, that's enough of that. They're not continuing that. You know, the Surface, the RT. That's not the one that integrates with the rest of your Windows network. It's just a little Surface RT thing that just integrates with itself. That's it. That was a bit of a waste of time, but yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't doing one of those heads. But anyway, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. But
he's going.
He is going. But he is being replaced. Now I suppose this is probably the biggest story of the week. I guess. Well, let me have a look here. See if I got an image for you. Here we go. So the biggest story, I guess, and I'm not sure how much you know about this one, Shane, but the Microsoft Nokia buy. I
heard it on the news this morning, yeah.
Yes, Microsoft will take over Nokia's devices and services business for $7.9 billion, with Nokia CEO Stephen Elop stepping down from his role to return to Microsoft. So I take it that he's stepping down to return as Steve Ballmer. Is that right or not? I don't know. I couldn't really find that.
He was on the short list.
He was. I know. That's why I'm thinking maybe he's done it. Who knows? But anyway, that's something we can look into. I couldn't see it in the couple of stories that I read, so I'm not sure what was happening with that. It will see Microsoft.
So they haven't bought the company whole as bowlers. They've only bought a chunk of it.
That's right. Well, sort of. That's right. And which led to my comment on the Aussie Mac Zone, is that they've spent $8 billion and they're leasing. They're just leasing this thing for 10 years. Because the further information, it says it will see Microsoft take over Nokia's mobile phones and smart devices business units, design team, operations, including all Nokia devices and services production facilities, devices and services related sales, marketing and support functions. Geez, I'll tell you, some of these contracts, they get a bit involved, don't they? The operation to be transferred to Microsoft generated 50% of Nokia's net sales for 2012. Now, Elop will depart Nokia to become, the Executive Vice President of Devices and Services at Microsoft once the acquisition closes. So Elop previously worked for Microsoft in 2008, 2010. So it doesn't look like he's taken over old Steve's job. Because that's not what Steve was. He wasn't the vice president. No. He was the head honcho.
I wonder if what this means also is that Windows Phone will only be available on Nokia devices, and it won't be across the board like it is at the moment.
That'd be short-sighted, wouldn't it? Like, do you think they would limit it to that? Don't they want market penetration? And if they did, they'd have to obviously let it go onto other devices. Because,
well, yeah, I suppose if you look at Google, they bought Motorola, but Android's still available on everything.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I think they'll let it go into other devices. Surely to goodness, surely. So the transaction is expected to close in the first quarter of next year, and is subject to Nokia shareholder approval. So I wonder what they think of all that. Nokia will grant Microsoft a 10-year non-exclusive patent license, while Microsoft will grant Nokia reciprocal rights to its HERE services, HERE. Microsoft will also become a licensee of HERE and will pay Nokia a 4-year license. Jesus, complicated. Microsoft will also...
it's a non-exclusive agreement by the sound of it.
Yes. Yeah.
That first bit that you read where Nokia is saying, okay, here's a non-exclusive
patent license.
So that means they could actually sell it to other people as well.
Well, yes, that's how it reads, yes. But I suppose they might hold they might hold some patents that obviously have to be used by other people. I don't know. Like maybe they might hold a patent of, a handheld device with the numbers 1 to 9 on it or something. So obviously everyone else has to use that. So maybe must be maybe why that's like that. Microsoft has also become a licensee of here and will pay, blah, blah, blah. Microsoft will also be given a 10-year license to use the Nokia brand on current mobile products, but Nokia will continue to own and maintain its Nokia brand. Oh, yeah, I got a headache too. It looks like who's in the lounge got a headache? Yeah, I think I got one too. All right, that's too complicated. If you want to know more of that, good luck. Go and read it.
Hire a lawyer.
Yeah, read it in the show notes and listen to it going to sleep a few times. And meanwhile, I think this could be hopefully one of the last Microsoft stories. Microsoft's first new gaming console in 8 years, which is this new beauty, ridgy-digi Xbox One, will go on sale on the 22nd of November in 13 countries. It has gone into full production, and pre-orders have so far outpaced the available supply to retail stores in most markets. And Microsoft have said, we have more pre-orders than any other Xbox console in history.
The game's backwardly compatible?
I think so. I think didn't Sony make that mistake? Well, it was a mistake. I don't think they corrected. I think wasn't their games not backwards compatible. I'm not sure. I'm not a big game head, so I don't know.
No.
Don't know.
I'm just trying to work out because, but historically, the Sony PlayStation's always been better from a hardware spec point of view than the equivalent Xbox. So I'm wondering why the PlayStation never really took off. B, even when the launches the two launches happened, everywhere you read, the majority of people were going to lean towards the PlayStation. So if this story is true, what they're saying about the pre-orders and everything, I'm trying to think, why would someone go with an inferior product only because they've already invested that much into the ecosystem, and if the games that they've already got are compatible with it, that's the only reason why you'd kind of stay with the product.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I think backward compatibility. Well, Microsoft is known for that need, isn't it? Like, look at Windows. I'm not sure if that extends to the Xbox, but look at Windows. Like, something that worked on Windows 95 pretty much would work on Windows 8. So that's still I think was Windows 95 32-bit, or was that even? That wasn't 3.1 was 16-bit, wasn't it? I think. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but I don't think you'd be punching a Windows 3.1 bit of software into Windows 8 because the whole layout is different. Everything was different. But yeah, definitely Windows 95. I reckon that'd still possibly work. Depends what it was. It'd still possibly work. It would work on XP, and what worked on XP would work now. So, yeah, I'm into that.
Okay.
What other little story did you have?
The only other one that I had, and I can't remember if we did this one before I had my little week off or not, but we're going to do it again. Aussie TV networks reportedly working on a Netflix rival. Channel 7 and 9 are both working on a new Netflix rival, if a new report, which is now an old report probably, is to be believed. Basically, the two networks are joining forces to dominate the rebroadcasting rights surrounding their most popular local shows. So that's online rebroadcasting. Services like Netflix and Hulu can't scoop them up for cheap. So I think it's more of a way of protecting homegrown and home-produced shows, because it goes on to mention things like Home and Away.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, that might not be one.
Let's get a rerun of that, eh? Yeah, can't wait.
Work on the new online platform, which would reportedly boast shows like Home and Away, which, believe it or not, is Seven's most popular show on catch up, and it doesn't actually give an example for Channel 9, but that would probably be probably Getaway or one of those.
Yeah, well, just reading. Yeah, it was saying that the Home and Away is Seven's most popular catch-up show. Are you kidding? Jeez,
Yeah.
the shows mustn't be too
On
popular.
on Saturdays, not that I watch it, but I'm led to believe.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturdays, they devote a whole pretty much couple of hours in the afternoon for home and away catch up on 7-2, I think it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. So have we just had confirmation from the lounge that yes, Windows 3.1 was an old 8 and 16-bit operating system. So yeah, thank you, PA. Good work. I knew he'd know because he's got the Windows 3.1 on CD. Believe it or not. I don't believe it, but he showed me a picture. All right. Where are we? What else have we got here? Let me pull one out. Let me pull. Everyone's been talking about watches, wearing watches, Google watches, Sony watches, everything watches. Well, Samsung and Qualcomm have actually revealed their smartwatches. Now, the companies launched the devices at nearly the same time at events in Berlin and San Diego. And some people, analysts, immediately questioned whether the devices were too costly, expected to be around about Australian $327. You would be right. Yes, I think that's too much for me anyway. Samsung Galaxy Gear smartwatch works on an accessory to its market-leading Galaxy smartphone with a small screen offering basic functions such as photos, hands-free calling and instant messaging. So the Gear will go on sale later this month in the US, as we said, for Australian, about $327. So look, I don't know. I don't think these are going to work for me. I don't know. Probably take me a while.
It sounds like that that what you were just talking about is going to do what Will was talking about a couple of weeks ago, where he said that what he wants to be able to do with that sort of thing is look at his watch and go, like if his phone's ringing, look at his watch and go, oh yeah, no worries, I'll talk to that person, and that kind of thing.
But wouldn't you just look at your phone? But
No, I mean, I think he was sort of saying in the scenario where your phone's in your pocket, and with him being a mechanical type person where he's got grease and crap all over his hands,
or he's got one of those whatever. What's he got here? One of those Google Nexus things. And, they're 7 inches or something. He probably had to put it on the dashboard. That's what he wants to watch. So he doesn't have to get it out of the glove box or something when he wants to answer it. But anyway, the Qualcomm's TOQ, T-O-Q, I guess that's how you spell it, can play music. Oh, nice. And handle phone calls and messages. Oh, nice. Why wouldn't it? That's what he'd be expecting. It will be the first smartwatch with a touch-enabled Mirasol colour screen that can be viewed easily in bright sunlight. Right, I think I'll wait for about the 10th generation of watches before I do that. And yes, Rennie P, you are right. Dick Tracy does live on. He lives on in the TOQ and the Gear. He's in top gear. The coalition. Oh, the election. That's right. It's this Saturday. I can't wait until it's over. I don't know.
My wife's already voted.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Is everyone just sick of seeing them all over the TV all the time? I am.
We're in that
the blackout
period now, so yeah.
No, I just pop up on all the shows now. No ads. They're just on like Big Brother and, and they're just popping up. You'll see them home and away. Woo! Now the coalition, the dreaded internet filter. Yeah. The party said its proposal is a very different approach to the very unliked version that the Labor Party had. Remember when Stephen Conroy was there under Julia, which was abandoned as unworkable. Well, I think everyone told him that, didn't they, in the first 2 minutes? It didn't even actually finish coming out of Conroy's mouth. They go, it's unworkable. Internet filter. It said it would work with internet service providers to develop online safety standards for fixed-line broadband services into homes. It went on to define standards as involving the major internet service providers providing home network filters for all the home broadband services. These filters would be switched on as the default unless the customer specifies otherwise. Now, that's good. If we're going to have one, let's have one that is, I don't mind it being on by default. You know, you don't switch it off. Have that as a tick in your sign up. But yeah, so look, it has to be there, but that's a good way around it. You can get out of it. Or proves they are over 18, the coalition said yes. Smartphone users under the age of 18 would have adult content filters applied to their mobile services by default, according to this policy. The coalition said it would work with mobile phone operators to install the filters onto the handsets. It also, what are they going to do? You know, like, are they just going to, you know, I think, wasn't it back in 2010? Joe Hockey said that, you know, it's really not the responsibility of the government to police these sort of things. That, you know, he wanted to move the onus more back towards the parents, but obviously now their position has changed a little bit. The coalition said, blah, blah, blah. It also plans to introduce legislation to force social media sites operating in Australia to take down harmful material quickly. The coalition said it would define specific rules for takedown system within 6 months of coming to power. I don't know if they could force Facebook to take stuff down, or Google, or Twitter. Do you think? Unless maybe the account can be proven to be emanating from Australia. They don't have no jurisdiction over Facebook. We pick on that because that's where most of the, you know, the tribute pages go to and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't think that they can do that.
The closest they'd be able to get, like you said, is if the person or people behind the page happen to be Australian, then they could come from the angle of, you know, okay, this is an Australian-based page, it's run by Australian-based people. Yeah. Even though it's hosted on a service overseas, you know, our laws sort of say, our laws kind of overrule it. There'd be agreements and all that kind of stuff that would kick in. I've done a lot of. I want to approach this election having done a lot of research and researching it rather than just going, I'm going to vote for this party because I've always voted for this party.
Yeah, that's good. Good
and it surprises me that the Liberal Party would actually be that because from what I know, their ethos is to, you know, allow the people to make their own mind up and all that kind of crap.
Well, yes, that's right. So maybe...
Where's Eric when you need him?
Yeah, he'd put us straight. But yeah, I'd say that, the coalition is for less government involvement in your life, and the Labor Party is more involvement in your life. I'd rather less, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you know that. But I suppose at the end of the day, you've got to weigh up for yourself what you think is better for you and what you think is better for the country, in your opinion. So, and that will probably ultimately decide which way you want to cast your vote. But it's going to be interesting on Saturday. So I've got another little election story here. Yeah, if you don't know who to vote for, maybe have you considered these three parties? There is the Future Party. The Future Party markets itself as a group of technophiles, promoting the belief that our quality of life is improved primarily through technological developments. They sound all right, don't they? It is pushing tech-friendly reforms across a number of policy areas, such as mandatory computer programming. Ooh, studies for early high schoolers. Wow, what's that? Year 9. Programming, Year 9. Installation of smart meters in all homes and businesses, and warrant restricted access to private browsing data by law enforcement agencies. Oh, there you go, the Future Party. The Senator Online, SOL, SOS if they got in, I think, SOL, will, as far as practical, for every bill put to Parliament, summarise the arguments in a fair, unbiased and concise manner. An online poll will be conducted in which all poll members who have access to the internet can vote for or against the proposed bill. So there you go, that's fair.
So we vote these people in to make decisions on our behalf, and we have to make the decisions anyway.
And yes, that's right. So we'll vote. We'll vote in the poll, and that determines what things they do. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, that's I've never heard of these. And the good old Pirate Party. The Pirate Party has been outspoken in its opposition to what it sees as the gradual and unjustified encroachment of national security into civil liberties. But please, particularly, I don't like that word, particularly in the online world. What's this? Reventing warrantless monitoring of internet use, banning mandatory internet censorship, and legislatively protected net neutrality, which would outlaw discrimination when it comes to internet speed. The party has also taken a stance against what it sees as an uncompetitive corporate tax rates and software patents. You know, these parties, like, seriously, like, who's their treasurer? You know, who's going to be the, you know, they just stand for one thing. Yeah,
exactly.
They just stand for one thing, and do they get paid for doing this? Like, if you go, I'm going to put my name up, I want to be elected in. Do they actually get paid? I don't know if they do or not. I think they've got to have so many number of members to even form a party. Maybe they might.
Yeah, you got to have 500.
Maybe you might get $500. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But anyway, what was that other little story you had, Shane, this week?
Another little story I had was Google's iOS Authenticator update nuked user data before being pulled. This is a story about a Google app. Google's updated Authenticator app for iPhone rolled out last night, which is a couple of nights ago now, bringing new Retina graphics for iPhone 5 users. Unfortunately, it also brought a nasty little glitch that wiped out users' account info, forcing Google to pull the app from the App Store.
Sweet.
Apparently, users who installed the new update found all the services they'd connected to the two-factor authentication app disconnected, forcing them to start from scratch, setting up account info. Google says it is working on a new version and won't split out all your data. That won't spit out all your data.
Oh, good. Let's hope so. Now, are you into the apps? Did you download that app, or was it pulled before you sort of got into it?
No, it got pulled before I went and had a look. So that's why I don't really know too much about it, other than it's obviously some sort of another level of authentication that that's supposed to be good for you.
Now, do you know, Shane, and I know you do know, but does everyone else know that every day on Facebook, Warlock, remember Warlock? He's on the Aussie Mac Zone. Every day, he will put up an Android app of the day. Normally, you would pay for it, but for that day that you see it come up on the Facebook, Aussie Tech Heads Facebook, then it will be free. So keep an eye out for those. Make sure you go to the Facebook every day, or make sure that the feed comes up in your feed. The posts come up in your feed, and you'll get it. There's also an iOS app of the day that I put in there every day. So yeah, 2 apps in the Facebook thing. Yeah. Hey. So that's a facebook.com/Aussie Tech Head. So yeah, jump into that. Now there's a birthday this month. Did you know that? And
there's a birthday next month.
There's probably heaps of them.
But there's an important one next month.
Oh, who? Next October?
Yeah.
Whose birthday?
Mine.
Yours. Oh, right. Oh, that important person.
Kind of got subtle hints here, Glenn.
Next month. Oh, happy birthday for next month. Will you be in America for your birthday?
Yes, I will be for my 40th.
Oh, geez.
Now everybody knows when it is, how old I am. I expect birthday cards.
Yes. Oh, here you go.
Not recycled ones.
There you go. I'll send you the badge. Happy birthday. No, I'll tell you, this is 50 years old this month. Now, I'll give it to you you'll never guess it, but I'll give it to you in a bit of a what am I? It's a what, okay? I was invented by Edward Craven Walker. And my creator was inspired to invent me after admiring an oil and water-based ornament he had spotted on display in the country inn. And in September 1963, he set up a company now known as Mathmos to research, develop, and most importantly, market my invention, or market me. In the mid-1960s, we made our first TV appearance on the set of Doctor Who. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get it.
Well, you will, because it's the lava lamp. I am the lava lamp. That's right. 50 years ago, 1960s icon. You can see in the back there, those lava lamps. First appearance on TV.
I like them.
Yeah, another first for the Doctor. Good stuff. He probably zipped back, time, whatever, does all the time things. Yeah, so how cool is that? Lava lamp. Now, also, something probably unexpected is Google has named their next version of Android KitKat. How does that one work?
Oh, I saw part of this story, and I saw the Kit Kat part of it, and kind of got the gist that they were obviously going to be in dispute over naming rights and that kind of crap. But I didn't realize that's what they were doing.
Google said earlier this week that version 4.4 of its OS would be called KitKat. Now, you'd be thinking, hey, how are they able to do that? That someone probably owns the rights and blah, blah, blah. The trademark is owned by someone, of course, which would be Nestle, I think it is. But Google partnered with them to do the promotion. The whole thing was Google's idea, according to a BBC report, and no money changed hands between the company. But seriously, if you're KitKat, that would be an excellent thing to have happen, I reckon. Wouldn't it?
That's why they didn't say, yeah, no worries, just do it for nothing.
That's right.
Don't worry about paying.
That's right. And look, Milo, we've got an active lounge. Shane, we've got an active lounge here. Milo wants to know, is Elvis still alive? And they're going to go and see him in Vegas.
No, I'm not going to Vegas. I'm only going to Vegas was on the first version of the trip, and so was San Francisco. But I lost both those arguments. So now we're just going to go to LA, San Diego, and then back to LA again.
Oh, right. And PA's going to Memphis next year. Good on you.
Yeah, Maria actually wants to go to see Gracelands because she's a an Elvis fanatic, but probably not somewhere where you want to drag kids and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to wait for them to get old enough and leave home like at 15. And then,
kick him out at 15. Can't you get a live Memphis or live Graceland cam? I think it points down to the chapel or something. There's a live cam. I've looked it up.
Okay,
There's Google live Graceland cam. I don't know, it's probably still there. Who knows? I saw it ages ago, but it's probably still there. Now, getting down to one of the last stories of the night, probably will be the last story. Another global phenomenon of a firm is opening up here in Australia, and it's Twitter. It is formally opened its offices in Sydney this week. Those staff have been working from the building for several weeks. But there you go, good old Twitter in lovely Sydney. Twitter also confirmed on Monday it had appointed former Google Asia Pacific executive Karen Stocks as its Australian managing director. The move comes as Twitter seeks to grow its pool of around 2 million Australian users and increase advertising revenue. There you go. I didn't know exactly how you could advertise on Twitter and how they make their money, but I saw through the week, was it some disgruntled British Airways traveller?
Oh yeah,
lost his baggage, and he tweeted an adverse tweet, but he paid for it to be not retweeted. I'm not sure how it works. I haven't really gone into how you do this sort of thing on Twitter. But he paid Twitter for it to appear on British Airways customers or British Airways Twitter followers stream. So I'm not sure how much he paid or anything like that. But yes. Oh, PA's found the Graceland cam. It's still alive. It's still up and running. It's still there. It's probably coming up to morning, PA. I wonder if you might see the shimmering shadow of the big guy walk past every now and then, if you look closely. And then a couple of donuts rolling past.
His famous hamburger.
Oh, that's right. And what did he love? He loved his deep fried bananas or something.
Oh, yeah, it was some weird crap like that.
Yeah, didn't he have like a big bun? Then he put like banana on it, fried banana? Or was it just banana, then jam, then bacon, and then he deep fried it with the bun and everything? Oh, he loved it. He loved it. And you know what? It'd be bloody nice, I reckon. But you wouldn't be able to eat too many of them. But yeah, it'd be nice. That'd be good. It'd be lovely. Yum, yum, yum. All right. Well, I think that's about it. What else can we talk about, Shane? What's I was going to say, yeah. So you're going to America, and so where are you going? You're not going to Vegas. So
we're going to do a week in LA around and staying around the Anaheim area to obviously do the Disneyland thing for the kids. And from there, we're also doing a tour down to Legoland,
right,
which is about halfway between LA or between Anaheim and San Diego, but we're doing it from Anaheim and going back. We've got a couple of free days in there. I sent an email out to the guys from that I've done the interviews with to let them know that I'm going to be in town, but haven't heard anything back from them. But don't really, not holding my breath, to be honest. And then we're going down to San Diego for a week.
Right.
And doing the whole the zoo, the safari thing, which is part of the zoo, SeaWorld. And then we're going back to LA and doing the staying in Hollywood or North Hollywood.
Yeah, nice.
And doing the studios, hopefully we'll get down to Venice Beach. I wanted to go to Planet Hollywood, but apparently all those restaurants are closed down. So I'm going to try and get to Hard Rock. There's a good one on Hollywood Boulevard, apparently.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
so, it should be good.
And you're going next month. Next month, that's soon.
Yeah, fly out from Perth on the Wednesday night, which is the 2nd, I think.
Yeah, nice.
It's kind of like one of those midnight crossover things.
Yeah, right.
And then we get into Sydney at about 6:30 in the morning, jump on the flight to LA at 10 o'clock, but then we get to LA at about 6:30 that morning because of the whole international dateline thing. So, but then on the way back, we lose a day.
Keep away from this guy. He's scary. So I just put up another scary picture of Steve Ballmer. So
looks like he needs some Senecott.
Yes. Oh, he's provided us with a few laughs, that guy, hasn't he? He's just he's done well. He's done well. Who's going to be the pick-on dude now at Microsoft? Bill Gates.
Was he one of the originals?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he went way back with Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, he was back there somewhere. Yes, all right. So that's about does everything. Don't forget you can find us on the Facebook at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads and also youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads, or see the video off the homepage at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. So wherever you do, just we're everywhere. Everywhere.
You mentioned radio?
Oh no, I might not have. But the Aussie Tech Radio, which is starting to go great guns. Where is that? Shoutcast 24/7. And if you don't know what a 24/7 Shoutcast is, well, go and have a look. ATH Radio. It's not, it's AussieTechRadio.com actually. Aussie Tech Radio, AUSSIE Tech, TECH Radio.com. Now, there's heaps of shows on there. We got clearances from all those top shows. TechWebcast.info, another great little Australian podcast that pumps out every Saturday. I think they record, and they've got like a new guest every week, which is interesting. There's the two guys talking tech. There's the Aussie Mac Zone. There's us. There's the Dusty Cartridge. There's the Ozdroid. There's Geek Sphere. iBlind Tech, gas little shows, you know. There's also Cool Blind Tech. So, yeah, there's heaps of shows. And they just run 24/7. So they're on like a reel and sort of thing, sort of kind of. And then depends when you log in, when you tune in, that's what you get. You know, it just keeps going round and round and round. And if you have a show, if you've got an audio podcast you'd like to put up there, this particular point in time, it probably has to be like tech related, obviously, because it's Aussie Tech Radio. But look, send me an email, glenn@aussietechheads.com.au, and even if it's not tech, just send it to me anyway. And you know, we could put it in there just for a bit of variety or something like that. But yeah, Aussie Tech Radio. If you want the instructions on the website when you get there, aussietechradio.com, you'll find how to download it to or how to set up your smartphone so you can do it. Just download an app, search for Aussie Tech Heads, bang. Or you can listen, as soon as you load that page up, it'll start streaming. So it's good, and that's probably about it. Don't forget if you're looking for a web page hosting environment, athwebhosting.com.au. So we'll see you right with some space, from $5.95, but normally $6.95 that's the plan that most people go for. It's got a fair bit of space in it and some bandwidth, enough bandwidth to do you for a while, unless you get real big. And if you get real big, we'll put some ads on your page. Then you can go to the next plan. All right. You got it? Cool. All right. You can find me. I'm using my own personal Twitter now. So you can follow me, please, if you like. Probably... Yeah, I'm trying to just separate, because the Twitter was at Aussie Tech Heads, but now the at Aussie Tech Heads is for the show, okay? And at Glenn Goodman, 2 N's on Glenn. So at Glenn, everyone's got something about their name, haven't they? That you got to explain. So at Glenn Goodman. And Shane, where can people find you on the Twitters?
You can get me at Shane1973 and Shane with a Y.
That's right. But you can just email us anyway at whoever we are. Shane, Glenn, Eric, Will, Warlock, Jason, whatever, at AussieTechHeads.com.au if you need to get in touch with us. Okie doke. Good. And I think I've mentioned everything now. I think I've plugged everything, haven't I? I think so. I'm just about out. Yeah. One more look at the webpage. Yeah. All right. So until next week.
Subliminal.
That's right. Until next week. Thanks, Shane, for coming in, giving us your time.
No worries.
Another Thursday night. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks to the lounge for coming in. Quite active in there tonight. Quite snuggly by the looks of it. And thanks to you guys also for watching or for listening on the downloads, iTunes, or wherever. All right, until next episode, which will be next Thursday, live here at AussieTechHeads.com.au/live. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Yeah.